gosh.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into some of the rod series and the rod series signature rod series in the Jacob Wheeler Duckett Fishing Signature Series. Right here I have the next rod on the rotation. This is my 610 medium action rod. It's really the only rod that I have in my casting series that is a medium action. In this rod, as you can tell, I have my Loco Special. This is a 13 Fishing Loco Special, one of my favorite jerk baits out there on the market, hands down. You can see it's got a little bit of wear and tear. Actually, this is actually the jerk bait that I had on and caught quite a few of the fish that I caught actually at the last tournament. Let's see here. When was that? Oh yeah, Cumberland Toyota Series Championship. So really good jerk bait rod. And when I designed it, when I throw a jerk bait, I want a rod that's sort of like in between, sort of an in-between rod. I don't jerk with a 7-footer. I'm 6 foot tall, and I know guys who love a 6'6". I know guys who like a 6-footer, but like I sort of go back and forth on leverage, okay? And then I want to be able to make sure I can cast it a decent ways too. So imparting action, when I choose a rod length and a rod size and all those things, is imparting action in your bait. That's a huge deal with a jerk bait in a top water. And so I want a rod that I can do just that. So that's why I chose a little bit different. And I twitch it. I wanted something that's light, that I can move that rod around a lot more. And you can do that with a 7-foot or something shorter like the 610. As I go back and forth on when I designed this rod, I went through several different blanks and different lengths because I wanted to sort of see what would give me other options, throughout, and really what I prefer, because I've had different rods for different applications, but this is the rod that I ended up picking because not only is this my jerkbait rod, but the one thing that I will throw on this rod is actually it's light enough for a crankbait. Now I talked about a graphite composite, and there's times when I can't throw a super small crankbait on that rod. I have a hard time of being able to roll cast a super small tiny river crankbait, and that's when I'll choose to select this rod. Only other thing I will throw sometimes is custom flat sides on this rod right here. So if you throw a lot of little small river crankbaits and flat sides, that is the rod that I use most for when I'm roll casting and around stuff. But overall, this is also my small topwater rod. So like tiny little skitter pops or Ricos, that's the rod that I use. Little Zara puppies and little small walking baits. That's the rod I use because it has enough of that whippy tip to allow me to throw that. And that's why I had to have this rod in my series. Of course, I throw a jerkbait a ton, and a jerkbait rod is very, very important. And it's something that you don't want to pick the wrong action. You just sort of have to pick a rod out that works for you. You want to make sure you have it set up right, and because at the end of the day, you catch a lot of big fish on a jerkbait. I've noticed as my years have gone on throwing a jerkbait, is it's not just a pre-spawn bait, and it works all over the country from basically 12 months a year. It really does seem to tend to work. So that is the reason I designed this rod. There's so many different things you could do. I will even throw a super small river spinnerbait on it, but I would not recommend going up too high, too much in size. You'll overpower the rod. What I mean by that is if I'm not going to throw a 1/2 ounce spinnerbait on this rod. A river spinnerbait, like a 1/4 ounce, you could do that. Throw like 20-pound line. I will throw that. But I wanted to sort of go down through a couple different things of what I designed this rod for. It's one that definitely I have to have, no doubt, a jerkbait in so many different applications, and the reasons behind why I chose this rod for that, and the reason I designed this action. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit something from this video. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next week.